This is Allison from PRI here today to talk to you about creating custom backgrounds for Twitter accounts. So I went ahead and set up a test account in Twitter. It's a brand new account and you can see it has the default cloud background. We're going to talk about the two different kinds of images that you can use for Twitter backgrounds. One is a full screen image that fills the whole space. The other is a tiled image, which can be a smaller image that gets repeated across the space over and over to create a wallpaper effect and fill your screen. We're going to talk about why you should customize your Twitter account and some helpful ideas while we look at other examples. Then we're going to talk about the design for the images, including screen resolution. And last, a quick step-by-step on how to upload those images and customize your own page. So let's go ahead and get started. I've got some accounts open here. This is one that uses a full-size illustrated background really nicely, really fun. Next up is Danielle's page. Now she's used a tiled image to create a really elegant wallpaper that fills the screen. Travels.com is a great example of setting your background to match the content that you're tweeting about. So this is obviously a travel company and they've got these great vintage travel stickers filling the background of their account. Next up is MailChimp. It's an email service provider company. Their logo is this little monkey, and they've used him really large on their Twitter wallpaper. So this can be a really nice way to carry your branding through from your own website to Twitter. Here's an example of a photo editor who's used a large image to fill the screen. Up next is PRI Works. This is our own Twitter account, which we use for our company. And this is a background image. The hand with the light bulb is something that we use on our homepage, on our brochure, obviously here on our Twitter account. We also use it on our Facebook account. So again, we're carrying that branding across. And we've got our tagline here, and we've got all of our important information that our clients and followers would want to know about us. Another example, if you don't want to use a full screen photo, is to use thumbnails. Here's a photo editor who's got thumbnails of famous people's headshots. Zipcar uses photos of their members in front of their cars, which is a really nice way to tie their followers into their tweets. And up next is a really beautiful design. It's called Designs by Rochelle, but as you can see, this user is losing some of their information on this smaller browser that I'm using. If I make my screen even smaller, you can see it becomes completely unreadable. So that's something we're going to talk about as far as spacing goes. So let's go ahead to Photoshop and take a look at the images that I created. So the first image that I made is a full screen wallpaper that's going to fill the whole size of our screen. Now, of course, the big question is, what size should you make your screen? I'm going to turn this on for a second. This area here, the brighter area, is only about 900 pixels wide. So we want to keep in mind that some folks are still viewing our Twitter profiles on iPads or netbooks and devices with really small screens. Other people are using those jumbo monitors. A lot of designers use those 1680 by 1050 monitors. So they'll be able to see this space over here, but if I put designs in this far right corner, the folks using the small browser are never going to see that over there. Typically, most people nowadays are using a 1024 by 768 or a 1280 by 1024 screen resolution. So you want to work within those guidelines, and we'll go ahead and put all of those details in the blog post associated with this account. This image that we created, this is the same size that we used for the PRI background, and it's 2000 pixels wide by 1200 pixels tall. So that means that no matter what size someone's viewing our screen, our Twitter account on their screen, they're going to get to see everything that we've included. So that's just the example of our full screen wallpaper. And this is just a fictional company that I set up some images for. Next is the tile image. So this is one image that will get repeated over and over and over again. If you're a really savvy designer, you can have your edges line up to create a seamless wallpaper background. And last, I created a small icon which we'll use as the thumbnail icon on our account. So let's go back to our own account here and get started on the step-by-step of how to upload these things. Okay, so to upload our backgrounds, we're going to go to Settings, and then we're going to choose Design. Now you can see Twitter gives us several options of really beautiful backgrounds. And these are okay to use. The only problem is they don't set you apart. Your account starts to look like everyone else's Twitter account. And from a branding perspective and a marketing perspective, you really want to make yourself stand out. So let's go ahead and upload our custom image. So I'm going to browse for the image that I created, which was our wallpaper full, and save changes. So you can see that's been uploaded. I'm going to click Profile to view the live profile. Okay, so our new image is uploaded and it looks great. You can see if I make my browser smaller, I've run this type up the side vertically instead of horizontally, which is a nice way to keep all of our important info in there and not worry about losing it behind this Twitter area. Now this area here where the tweets show up is about 540 pixels wide, and this sidebar, which Twitter recently widened, is now 500 pixels wide. So when you're thinking about your spacing, you want to keep those images in mind. Okay, you can also see that our links here are in green, and Twitter's picked some default colors for us. So we can go ahead and define the colors of our sidebar and our links. Let's go back to Settings and Design. And we're going to click the other option down here, Change Design Colors. Now I went ahead and decided on the hexadecimal colors that I wanted to use for our background. So I'm going to go ahead and type those in now. Now this light orange is a color that I sampled in Photoshop. That's the light orange from here. And just hit Done. And Twitter gives us a preview of it there. I'm going to make our border a little bit of a darker orange. Go ahead and enter that color. And for my links, I sampled this blue from the tweet logo. I'm going to go ahead and enter that as well. And you want to make sure to save the changes. Okay, and that's uploaded, so let's view our profile. Great, and we can see that our colors are now in place, our links are now blue, and it looks like a really nice custom page for our fake company. Now the other option we have, instead of using the full screen wallpaper, is to tile the image. Let's go back to Settings. Go back to Design again, and we're going to change our background image, and this time we're going to browse and we're going to upload the smaller logo. And it's really important to click this Tile Background button. That's what will get it to repeat for us. Go ahead and save the changes. Okay, that's uploaded. Now let's view the profile. And you can see that Twitter is now repeating our image all the way across the back, so it looks like it's filled with all these orange and blue dots. The only thing we have left to do now is to change our thumbnail here. This egg is the default that Twitter gives us, and this is what will show up when others see us and follow us. So we want to make sure that we customize that as well. So let's go ahead and change this image. We're going to go to Settings, and this time, instead of Design, we're going to select Profile. I'm going to browse for the image that I created earlier, which is this tweet image. Go ahead and hit Save. And again, we can click Profile to view. So there you go. Now you've got a custom Twitter account with a custom logo, custom background, all created by you. If you want to learn more about us, check us out at priworks.com, and for further information about screen resolution, you can view this blog post at blog.priworks.com. Thanks.